night and a full house. But before Eddie introduces Nightmare Alley, we have a huge Film Noir fan and a representative from the LA County Board of Supervisors here. Please welcome Monica Bankin.
On behalf of LA County Supervisor Kappenbarger, who represents parts of Hollywood, we wanted to honor the 25th anniversary of Noir City Hollywood to my good friends Alan and Eddie. We're so glad we're here, and as a Noirista myself, I'm just really honored to be able to present them with this wonderful certificate in honor of their anniversary.
Thank you, Monica. Look at this, Noir City. We're rocking. Thank you so much. Thank you, Monica.
Thank you so much, Monica. Greatly appreciated.
We need some photos here. Yeah.
Stop it, I have to produce it. Thank you for
coverage.
Thank you for your patience.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you all. It is pretty extraordinary to have been here 25 years doing. Okay, this is fantastic to see a full house. Before I forget, this is a great way to introduce a movie. If you hear a fire alarm, it is not a joke. Okay? So you are instructed to, in very orderly fashion, leave the theater the way you came in, or through one of these marked exits. And you know what that's all about. We are showing a nitrate print of Noir Alley, and it is incumbent upon us to announce that these films are highly flammable, and just on the off chance that something goes wrong, right? And that's not going to happen. But just in case, proceed in an orderly, organized fashion through one of the marked exits. Okay. When we showed Nightmare Alley in this venue 25 years ago, it was honestly, in many ways, the resurrection of that film. It had not been screened in a couple of decades at that point, and it was a revelation to the audience. It was pretty much a full house that night. Colleen Gray, one of the stars of the movie, was here. I will never forget the ovation this film received. And when Colleen came up on the, well, there wasn't a stage then, Colleen came up to talk about the film with tears just streaming down her face, because she had thought that the film was kind of lost to time. Bear in mind when you watch her in this movie, she grew up in Minnesota and Nebraska. She was from Nebraska, grew up in Minnesota, and she adored Tyrone Power and dreamed of him. And then she found herself in only her second movie actually co-starring with Tyrone Power in this film. And the whole thing just overwhelmed me afterwards, and said, you know, I don't know if you're aware of this, but Stan Carlisle, which is the name of the character that Tyrone Power plays in the movie, you know that Stan Carlisle is code in the New Age movement of people who hustle in the New Age world with crystals and all kinds of stuff. He says, you know, if you're one of the hucksters and somebody runs their gaff on you, you say, excuse me, I'm waiting for my friend Stan Carlisle. That's the tip-off that you're in on the racket, right? And so that's the effect that this novel and movie had on that generation of people, right? William Lindsay Gresham, who wrote the novel, Nightmare Alley, was absolutely fascinated by hucksterism, the carnivals, the whole carny circuit. He wrote a great book called Monster Midway before he did this. And then Nightmare Alley was this epic I don't even know how to describe it adequately. It wasn't really hard-boiled fiction, it wasn't pulp fiction, it was just this incredible work about conning people and people's need to believe in something, and how evil it is when charlatans exploit people's need to believe. And that is what this movie is about. Tyrone Power read the book, he loved it. Something resonated with him in the character of Stanton Carlyle, and he sort of begged Daryl Zanuck at 20th Century Fox to buy this property so that he could play Stan Carlyle. George Jessel is credited as one of the producers. I think he actually bought the rights to the book, and that's why his name is on the movie. But Edmund Goulding, who directed the film, had previously made The Razor's Edge with Tyrone Power, and this was really Power proving that he was so much more than just that swashbuckling, handsome dude in, you know, all these, you know, fabulous Blood and Sand and, you know, The Black Swan and these movies that he made, that there was something else underneath it. Years ago, my colleague Alan Rohde was producing the Noir Festival out in Palm Springs, and I introduced this movie, and as I did my intro and I said at one point, this was Tyrone Power's baby. This is his legacy in film. It was almost lost. It kind of disappeared for various reasons, rights issues and all kinds of stuff involved with Gresham's family, who were not particularly proud of their father's legacy, which is really interesting. And so they kind of helped bury it. But I said, this is Tyrone Power's. When all is said and done, in 100 years from now, people will remember Tyrone Power for this movie. And as I left the theater after introducing it, a woman reached out in the aisle and like tugged on my jacket, and she was in tears, and she said, "Thank you so much for saying that. This was Ty's baby." And that was Linda Christian, who was married to Tyrone Power, and she validated all of that, saying that this was the thing that he was most proud of doing in his career in Hollywood. The movie is extraordinary because it's not only just a brilliant, prescient script, because this movie basically predicts our future of hucksters and charlatans and televangelists and all of these people who, let's face it, they are conning you. They want your money, and this is how they do it. And William Lindsay Gresham was revealing this to America at this time. The three women in this film are extraordinary. Joan Blondell as Xena, Colleen Gray as Molly, and Helen Walker as Dr. Lilith Ritter, who in my estimation is the most cold-blooded bitch in film. She's just extraordinary in this film. And it really is, I consider this film to be a touchstone of American cinema. Have I sold it enough? Okay. You folks, you get it. You're here tonight to see this movie in nitrate. I want to thank UCLA. I want to throw out I actually have to give major praise to David Packard, who funds all of that work at UCLA, because without David Packard, there would not be an archive where you could store all of this nitrate, which is the whole reason that we're able to do this tonight, because David Packard had the foresight to care for this stuff and to realize that it needs to be preserved. So I thank him and all of our colleagues at UCLA. I thank the American Cinematheque for making this happen. And I'm going to thank the Hollywood Foreign Press, because they're the ones who provided the grant that actually allowed the booth here at the Egyptian Theater to present nitrate film. It is not an easy thing, but it was a great I'm going to stop talking now and let you experience what I consider to be one of not just a great film noir, but one of the great American movies, Nightmare Alley.